Identification female. Age 19, found dead in her dressing room. The time of death believed to be between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. last night. The coroner's report suggests the female died from ingestion of a large quantity of toxic poison. The body has been identified as the well-known dancer, Elizabeth Page. She died just hours before the opening night of her theatre's major production. Evidence at the crime scene has led me back to the dancer's understudy, Betty Summers. Miss Summers, I'm investigating the murder of your colleague, Elizabeth Page. She was found dead in her dressing room late last night. Miss Summers, where were you between 12 p.m. and 1 a.m. last night?
I would have been leaving the theatre at about 11. After the dress rehearsal had finished, I walked out to my car and drove home.
Can anybody prove that you were home at that particular time? A husband or a neighbour?
No! I don't recall any of my neighbours having been awake at that time of night, and I'm not married. However, the security man at the theatre would have seen me leave the theatre at about 11. He could tell you...
Miss Summers, I've got a murder to figure out. I need to know exactly where you were between 12 and 1 last night, and if you had any contact with another person.
I'm sorry. As far as I was concerned, I wasn't aware I had done anything wrong.
Don't play games with me. Miss Summers, you're already in enough trouble. I don't appreciate your resistance to cooperate. And if I was you, I wouldn't be smart with me.
She was an amazing dancer, you know. I'm good, but I don't have her talent.
I see. What sort of relationship did you have with her?
We got along fairly well as working colleagues, though we never socialised outside of the theatre.
So, the last time you visually laid eyes on Miss Page was after the curtain call.
Just finishing our ending time scene. She was on stage, dancing on point. I was watching from the wings. I remember breathing very heavily, watching her perform. I just ran through the back curtain. After the lights went out, the curtain was drawn and I ran out for curtain call. After we had bowed, we both looked at each other. She had this strange look in her eyes. A dullness. I don't know. I don't really remember anything very clearly.
Miss Summers, it's all very well that you just remember the events of last night. However,
Now I've answered your questions for long enough. I would like to leave now. I have a lot of things to attend to.
Sit down, Miss Summers. Sit down, Miss Summers. Miss Summers, is there anyone you know who would have wanted to harm Elizabeth Page? Was there anyone whom she particularly didn't get along with?
No, not that I can recall. Elizabeth always got on well with everyone at the theatre. Though, as I said before, I never saw her outside of the theatre.
So you didn't come in contact?
I think I remember something. It's very vague. I was staying back late one night when I heard some smashing. I finished dancing, then walked over to where I'd heard the noise. It was coming from Elizabeth's dressing room. I peered through the crack in the door and there was this man. He and Elizabeth were having this horrible argument. He pushed her up against the mirror and then she threw an object at him. I ran. I didn't want to get involved, so I ran.
Do you know who this man was? Did you see him again?
I'm pretty sure he's Elizabeth's manager, but I've never seen him like this, so. Not that I'd come into contact with him all that often, but word gets around the theatre, and if Elizabeth was in some kind of trouble, people would be talking about it.
At the scene of the crime, we found a red lipstick with your initials engraved on the top of the lid. How do you explain that?
It was a theatre. We shared costumes and makeup all the time. I'm not sure I like where this is going, Detective. You don't think I had anything to do with the murder, do you?
Miss Summers, the police found evidence at the crime scene that leads us back to you. Now, I can overlook the fact that your lipstick was found at the crime scene and on the victim when she died, and the fact that your fingerprints were all over the crime scene. I realise that you were in her dressing room at various times. However, a half-full bottle of peroxide, the poison which killed Miss Page, was found in your dressing room on the night of the murder. Can you explain this bottle?
I didn't kill her. I told you I wasn't even there at the time of the murder.
You're an intelligent woman, Miss Summers. Why don't you level with me? Why did you do it? Was it the fame you knew if you got away with it, you'd become the lead dancer? Is that why you did it?
I didn't kill her. I told you. Why would I have? I don't care about the fame. I never wanted her dead.
I'm afraid that I'm going to have to detain you as the chief suspect to the murder of Elizabeth Page. I reassured myself that I had made the right decision arresting Miss Summers. All the evidence pointed to her, everything. The lipstick, her fingerprints all over the crime scene and the poison in her closet. But somehow it didn't seem right. Like this lump at the back of my throat. A gut feeling that I'd done the wrong thing. But what was I supposed to do? Clark? Yes. The old theatre? The same one as... Yes, I'll be there right away.